Thank you, Mrs. Pericone, and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to chapel. As each of us continues on our hero's journey this year, we are noticing just how often each of us relies upon our brothers to help us out. We can see that our mentors really are here to help us and guide us on our way. This week's theme is scholarship, and we are pleased to welcome Mr. Turcott, who will be speaking on behalf of our mentors, and Elijah Older, who will speak on behalf of our brothers. We are also looking forward to hearing from Grace and Comments, who will offer our gift of music.
As we settle in, we invite you to sit up and take a deep breath. As you exhale quietly, just relax and let us take things from here. There's nothing you need to do other than just to be here. Take advantage of this peaceful pause in the midst of everything else that's going on. Dear God, thank you for giving us the chance to share this school year together and for the power to shape its outcome. Now that we have been here for 2 months, the newness of our situation has worn off, and we are feeling tired. When we get tired, it is tempting to slack off and to cut corners, but we want to be better than that. You have assured us that if we ask for your help, you will renew our strength. We will rise up with wings like eagles. We will run and not get tired. We will walk and not get weary. Please help each of us to do his duty to the best of his abilities. Help us to be ready to step up cheerfully as needed, to encourage one another as we follow the Cardigan way. Amen. And now, please join me in welcoming Mr. Turcott.
Bonjour. Let's do that again. Bonjour. Pour ceux et celles qui ne me connaissent pas, mon nom est Patrick Turcotte. Je suis né à Montréal, au Canada, en 1972. Je suis marié à Isabelle, qui est assise derrière. J'ai 2 enfants, Hugo et Lucie. Il y a de ça maintenant 26 ans, j'ai probablement pris la plus grande décision de ma vie, une des plus grandes décisions de ma vie, et j'ai décidé de quitter le Québec et d'aller étudier à Boston en 1989. Raise your hand if you understood one word. Just one. Yes. Raise your hand if you understood half of what I just said. Half. French 1A, French 1B, French 2, you should have understood everything. And now here's the challenge. Raise your hand if you understood the whole thing. Okay, I got the French teachers, that's good. Reassured here. Rodrigo understood everything. Should we put you to the challenge? Yes? Trusty assistant, Maxon, can you go check with Rodrigo if you understood everything?
What do you think?
What did I say? In English, in English, in English.
That you have 2 childs, Hugo and Lucy.
Okay.
You made a big decision in your life.
Good, awesome.
To go from Quebec to Cardigan.
Okay.
And that's it. Yeah.
Good. Thank you. Well, like we saw for most of you, if not all of you, we didn't understand the totality of the speech, the prelude of what I just gave you at the beginning of my speech. Well, there's a reason for that. I wanted you to be in my shoes 26 years ago when I decided to leave Montreal and go to Boston to Milton Academy and study. This was probably the one, well, married my wife, that was a tough decision. That was an important decision as well. But it's probably the first big decision I've ever took. And that decision probably affected my life as a teenager, affected my life as an adult, affected my athletics, and of course affected my academics as well. I come from a blue-collar family. Anybody knows what blue collar is? Trusty assistant, can you go check with Luke, please, right here. Thank you. Blue-collar family, what's that, Luke?
Is it a very traditional family that does the same thing over and over? No? Maybe?
No. Let's go see J1. No. Thank you, Luke.
Labor?
Yeah, it's a mid-class, right? Middle-class family. Most of you are 14, 15, and 16, right? My father started working when he was 14. That's in 1943. He passed away a couple months ago, but in 1943 he started working in northern Quebec. What he did, he was a lumberjack. Never really went to school, but when December would come, he would travel to northern Quebec with his dad, cut some wood for the whole winter, and then the rest of the year he would come back to his little village and work on the farm for the rest of the summer. As for my mom, well, the same thing. She was part of a farming family. Out of necessity, we had big families. My dad had 9 brothers and sisters. My mom had 8. So huge families. What do you need? You need workers, right, for your farms. What's the cheapest labor you can find? Your own child. So my mom also worked on the farm at a fairly early age. She wanted to be a hairdresser all her life. I think still today she still wants to be a hairdresser. But she never really got to realize her dream, and she had to work on the farm. Eventually, when I left home, she worked for the local school. But as you can see, my parents' weren't two things that would actually go hand in hand for them. But for their children, yes, they could. They sacrificed a lot. Even though they didn't go to school for long, if not at all, studies were really important for them, for me. I went to pretty good private school in Terrebonne, city near Montreal. Then the most important decision of my life up to that point I took. Frankly, when you're a teenager and you play sports, you guys say it too, I know, that school is important. But frankly, don't we want to be in the NHL? Don't we want to play in the NBA? Don't we want to be part of La Liga in soccer? Do we want to be professional golfer, professional musician? I think so. I did. At that moment, that means summer of 1989, hockey was my life, as most of you know. And nothing could stop me. I was going to play for the Canadiens. But, you know how desperate I was? I was so desperate to make it to the pros that Mr. Carpino would be happy. I would actually have played for the Bruins if I had to. That's a time when a friend of mine talked to me about prep schools and the possibility for me to join one in Boston. At that time, I was getting to junior age, and that means that I had my rights of playing hockey. I was allowed to play only on one team. That team was the Junior Canadians. Not the big Canadians, the Junior Canadians. And that's the only place. If I wanted to play competitive hockey, that would be the only place I could go. You need to know that these teams are professional. The thing they want is to make money, some money. They want to raise you as a pro player, probably sacrificing your school. I was 16 at the time. So at 16 years old, I wasn't ready to sacrifice my school. During that summer training, I was training for Team Quebec, and a gentleman came to talk to me at the camp. His name was Jacques Lemaire. Question number 3, who is Jacques Lemaire? Jacques Lemaire. Anybody here? Please, not the adults. Anybody? Jacques Lemaire. Jorgo? No. No, Lemaire. Jacques Lemaire. Anybody? Anybody? He was a hockey player. Mr. Madigan. Yeah, a coach and a hockey player. He was a famous player that played for the Canadiens for a long time. And Mr. Lemaire was the general manager of the team I was drafted by. So Mr. Lemaire came to see me. Mr. Lemaire, how many Stanley Cups do you think he won? 6? A little bit more. 8? A little bit more. 11. Between a player and a coach, he won 11 Stanley Cups, 11 championship rings. You know those big things that they wear? So he had 11 of those. So when he came to meet me in the summer of 1989, he showed up with one of those big rings and a big white Cadillac. Wow, was I impressed, coming from a blue-collar family. Was I impressed. We had a good discussion that day. I was only 15, remember that? And I mentioned to him that I would like to finish my high school before going to play juniors. Well, he had a different plan for me. He wanted me to go play straight juniors. So I declined the invitation, and I decided that school would be a preference for me and for my family, and that's how I decided to go to Milton Academy. If we move forward a couple of months, My parents, we took the car, we drove up 89. We got to Boston. My parents don't speak a word of English. I didn't speak a word of English either. They dropped me in Boston, Milton Academy. Wow, what a shock. Didn't understand the language. Didn't have any friends. I think some of you kind of felt that way sometime between now and September. We had that feeling. I was literally disoriented. First time in my life, I could not handle that situation. No way. The only thing I knew is that I wanted to be successful. I wanted to work hard on the ice. I wanted to do my best in the classes, and that's what I was expected to do. That's what my parents expected me to do at Milton. And I strived towards that goal, and I think I achieved it. But grade-wise, that wasn't the case. I wasn't exactly a B or an A student when I started. Obviously, couldn't speak English. Struggled a lot at the beginning. Didn't sleep much at night, like some of our students at Cardigan, and my attention span was really short. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, maybe the first 3 months. That was a time of the first 3 months that I will remember still today, 26 years later, still remember all my life. Some of you 9th graders toured schools, right? Yes, 9th graders. Woo! Yeah, you toured school, right? Anybody went to Governor's Academy? Raise your hand if you went to Governor's. I'm not going to pick on you. Governor's, higher. Good. Anybody? You met a gentleman named Mike Keneally? Yes? Nikita? Who is he? Yeah, he's the head of admission at Governor's. Well, he was my dorm parent in Milton when I showed up. Literally for 3 months, this gentleman, Mr. Keneally, 3 months, he helped me out 5 nights out of 7. Every night, sorry teachers, every night I would read history, especially for history. I'd read for an hour, whatever I could read in an hour, 3-page, 4-page, 5-page. I would knock on his door down the hall, and he would explain to me the whole lesson. Teacher, sorry if you have kids knocking on your door tonight. Say you're not Mr. Keneally. You don't work that way. That's okay. But he was a tremendous help, and I will be always grateful for him to help me out for those first 3 months. After those first 3 months, everything went well. My grades weren't great, but my confidence in English was a little higher. My confidence on campus was a little better, and I was doing a lot better. Remember, boys, I always say that in my classes. If you're in my classes, process over result, right? I was actually speaking English. That's why I went to Boston for. I was speaking English. So that's how I got by at Milton. That's how I got by in college as well, just by working hard, just by going to classes, right? It's quite important. Going to classes and being out there. For me, sports and academics have gone hand in hand all my life, even now, today. I used the area where I was good at the start, sports, to open some doors. And then afterwards, once those doors were open, I jumped in. I did the best I could with the studies. I did the best I could with the social settings. I did the best I could, I thought, with the academics. And I make sure that I worked as hard as I could. Not all the time, I know. It's hard to work all the time, but as much as I could. Scholarship is not only about a certain sum of money that you get, right? You're good at school, you get some scholarship. You're good in sport, you get a scholarship. No, scholarship, it's also constantly striving for your improvement, taking advantage of every chance you have, and personal satisfaction of your job well done. Boys, if you're satisfied with what you do, if you're satisfied with your effort, that's the most important part. Your teacher says you're satisfied, that's one thing. All right? But if you are satisfied with your own progress, then you're a scholar. Your identity is not defined by your grades, right? It's defined by your person. It's defined who you're becoming and the character you're modeling. And lastly, I would like to put you up a challenge for tonight. When you go back to your dorm, who calls their parents? Not every night. Who's going to plan on calling their parents tonight? Skype, phone. Okay. Can you please talk to your parents? Not send a text and say thanks for the sacrifice they made to send you here? instead of sending a short text message. I'm in that situation now. It feels weird to send your kids away, all right? But boy, does it feel good when someone talks to you and tells you that he's thankful for what you've done for him. Thank you. Merci.
Thank you, Mr. Turcotte, for a great speech. We learned a lot about where you come from and the importance of scholarship. Can everybody hear me okay in the back? We thought we'd try something a little different today. And you notice we don't have that many microphones going, to see if we could maybe use the natural acoustics of the room to amplify the sound rather than our really nice sound system. And this is a song that was kind of inspired for us to play about the core value of scholarship. When this solar world starts getting me down, and people are much too much for me to face, up on the roof, I climb right up to the top of the stairs, and all I can just drift right into space. Up on the roof, oh, peaceful as can be, and there will no bother me. But let me tell you now, when I get home, it's time to leave. I go away again, fresh and sweet, up on the roof. Get away from the hustle and crowd, and all that makes noise down in the street, up on the roof. Hey, oh, the only place I know where you just got to wish, make it so. Up on my roof, up on the roof. Don't know much about history, don't know much biology, don't know much about a science book, don't know much about the French I took, but I do know that I love you, and I do know if you love me too. What a wonderful world is to be. Don't know much about geography, don't know much trigonometry, don't know much about algebra, don't know what a side rule is for, but I do know what one is two. And if this world could be with you, what a wonderful world is to be. Well, now I'm playing the teenage business of trying to be. Maybe by being yesterday, you give your love to me. Don't know much about history, don't know much biology, don't know much about a science book, don't know much about the French I took, but I do know that I love you, and I do know if you love me too. What a wonderful world is to be. What a wonderful world this would be. Up on the roof.
Good afternoon, Mr. and Mrs. McCusker, faculty, and fellow Cardigan brothers. Today we'll be talking about a subject we take seriously here at Cardigan, and that is scholarship. The dictionary defines scholarship as academic study or achievement or learning at a high level. At Cardigan, we take our academics very seriously, but the word scholarship does not pertain only to what we learn inside the classroom. We need to be scholarly within our community and even on the sports field, as these are all places where if you pay attention, you can learn a lot from your peers and coaches. My understanding of the concept of scholarship broadened a great deal last spring when I traveled to Finland
with the Cardigan hockey team. While we were there, we did a lot more than just play hockey. We lived the Finnish lifestyle, toured the city, and visited Finnish schools. While we were touring a school, my friend Travis Heap and I were asked to teach a class of third graders about Cardigan. To be asked to teach a class of third graders took us by surprise. But what was even more surprising is that none of these kids spoke any English. At first, I had no idea what we were going to say to the kids besides, "Hi, we play hockey." Then it hit me that we had a chance to really educate these kids on something they were not familiar with. It was a very surreal moment. Here we were in a foreign country teaching third graders, and we had a chance to really show them something interesting. So first we pulled up Google Maps to show them exactly where in the world Cardigan Mountain School is located. We even used the ground view feature and walked around our campus virtually. The kids asked us to show them where we ate, where we slept, and where we played sports. They were amazed by the fact that we stayed at school, away from our parents, for weeks and months at a time. They all asked a lot of questions, even the teacher, who was much older than Travis and I. We wrote down our entire schedule on the chalkboard so that everybody in the room could see how we lived here at Cardigan. After teaching them for about 40 minutes, they in turn became our teachers. They taught Travis and I some Finnish words that we could use while we were on our trip there. The words they taught us were simple, but I really listened to them. If you ask me now, I could tell you all the words they taught us and what they mean. I actually think Travis could too. Travis, could you stand up? Could you tell us what Moi Kaunis means?
It means hello, beautiful.
All right. So, as you can see, they taught us a few things. After we were finished teaching and learning from the third graders, we went to a 9th grade English class. In that class, we were considered as other students in the class. We paired up with the 2 girls who were our tour guides around the school, and all 4 of us had to work together to make a poem. It was good to know that even in this setting, we were surrounded by our peers. We could still teach by providing small pieces of grammar advice that the Finnish students may not have known since English is not their second language. It was a very humbling experience to be in a different country, absorbing so much information from somewhere I might only get to go once in my life. Once we were done being teachers for the day, it felt good to know that we had helped many different people, including teachers, learn something that they had not known just an hour before. What I hope you take away from this message is that when you have the chance to teach someone, do it. Don't worry about your ability to teach, just think about helping them. Explain to them in as much detail as possible, because they might benefit from it. And it will make you feel great about yourself, knowing you helped a person become more educated than they were before you talked to them. On the other hand, when you have an opportunity to learn something, do it. Take the time to listen, to take in and absorb all the information they give to you. Scholarship is so much more than just studying and making good grades. It is engaging in the give and take of learning, wherever and whenever you can. As you learn more things, you will have more things to share with others, and people freely sharing knowledge with one another is what scholarship is all about. Thank you.
Thank you, Elijah. I would like to acknowledge the following boys for being nominated for this month's Heart of the Cougar. Corey Sarrazin. Once again, Corey organized the entire raffle/drawing during Parents' Weekend to bolster the fall food drive efforts, with all 50-50 proceeds going to the food pantry within the Mascoma Senior Center. What terrific initiative and what amazing action taken to demonstrate compassion. Sam Tweedale has been an exemplary student athlete and deserving of the Heart of the Cougar Award. He lives Cardigan's core values and has been a steadfast leader on the cross-country team. Sam demonstrated superb sportsmanship to the opposing teams, and was always willing to help out his fellow Cardigan brothers. Nice job, Sam. Please join me in congratulating Corey and Sam for their nominations.
And now we will recognize 2 boys as Heart of the Cougar recipients for October. He's a thoughtful, kind young man that is engaged in his classes and is a positive role model for his peers. He has shown tremendous resilience. He's been recognized for his diligence and positive attitude by also being awarded the 9 Green Kite Award and being recommended as a peer tutor. He exhibits the qualities of a well-balanced student, including strong study habits and superior social skills. His return to school has been inspiring. He models the core values while exemplifying persistence and courage. Not once have I seen his injury be an excuse, and his teachers and peers will agree that he is a student of integrity. He is Alvaro Altamirano Visoso. From the beginning, he's been an exemplary student. He participates well in class and always has an excellent attitude. He's cheerful and helpful to his teachers and to his peers. He's an intelligent and focused student in woodshop. He listens carefully to instructions and is often a step ahead on the comprehension of techniques used in the shop. He pays attention to details. His fellow students look to him for guidance and advice as they see the results of his labors and strive to model his approach. He has been a star advisee who shows maturity well beyond his age. He's clearly respected as a leader amongst his peers and faculty. The progress that he has made this year and the enthusiasm and joy he brings to the CMS campus each day can inspire student and teachers alike. He embodies the phrase, help the other fellow, and does not do so to get recognition, but because it is the way in which he approaches each and every day. He helps his classmates with homework, classwork, staying motivated, with living lab animal care, and just generally looks out for opportunities to be of assistance to his Cardigan brothers. I think this is very rare to see in a 7th grade boy, and it is a pleasure to be able to work with him on a day-to-day basis. He is Peter Gilbert.
Thank you, Austin and Jack, and congratulations, Alvaro and Peter. At this time, please join in the singing of the Cardigan hymn. To Cardigan, our favored school, by nature's gifts benign, we raise in song our thankfulness for beauty which is thine. For winter snow, for afterglow, when day fades into dreams of goals toward which we all will strive, to keep thy faiths alive, to keep thy faith in us alive. Together we will strive. As Cardigan is mirrored in our crystal lake so clear, may we through life reflect thy truths and memories as dear, of summer's green, fall's colors bright, of glimmering stars at night. God, give us strength to carry on through storm or weather fair, the peace vouchsafed by living here for all the world to share. Thank you.
Next. So on this beautiful afternoon, a warm, uncharacteristically warm November afternoon, go in peace. Amen.